Hello, this is my 18th lecture on complex analysis for 5th SEM DSC students. I'm Ms. Ranjana Datta from the Department of Mathematics, the Graduate School College for Women. We are studying the conformal mapping. Today we are proceeding in this only. Example, a small arc in the jet plane through the point z0 is magnified in the ratio f dash z0 mod is to 1 in the w plane under the transformation w is equal to fz, where fz is regular and f dash z is not equal to 0. To prove that, let us define an arc in the jet plane, and let the corresponding arc in the w plane are given by the transformation w is equal to fz, where fz is analytic and f dash z is not equal to 0. So any curve ds square in z plane can be written as dx square plus dy square, and any curve in w plane can be written as d sigma square is equal to du square plus dv square. But we also know du can be written as del u by del x into du plus del u by del y into dv, and dv del u del v by del x into dx into del v by del y into dy. Substituting these values in d sigma square can be written as you can see on your screen, and after that putting the Cauchy-Riemann equation, that is ux is equal to minus vx vy, those in Cauchy-Riemann equation are substituted, and we get d sigma square is equal to del u by del x the whole square plus del v by del x the whole square into dx square plus dy square. Dx square plus dy square is nothing but the ds square. So d sigma square by ds square can be written as f dash z the whole square, and so into ds square. So d sigma by ds can be written as modulus of f dash z is to 1 in the w plane. Such a combination transformation w is equal to fj. Now we know that if zeta is an analytic function of W. Zeta is an analytic function of W, and W is an analytical function of Z, and W is an analytic function of Z. Then zeta is an analytic function of Z. Hence, if the domain D of Z plane is represented conformally in the region of D dash. So from Z to W, it should be conformal, and then from W to F zeta, it should be conformal. Then it will be conformal from Z to zeta. So transformation from the z plane to the zeta plane will be conformal. Now second, there are some transformation which preserves magnitude of the angle only but not the sign. Since z bar is equal to x minus iy, so if w is equal to x minus iy, maps every point in its reflection in the real axis, and consequently the angle are preserved but the signs are changed. So here sign is changed to minus. So W is equal to F Z bar, because Z bar is equal to X minus IY, where Fz is a analytic function. As a matter of fact, the transformation 1 is combination of the two transformation. First one, zeta is equal to Z bar and W is equal to Fz. As we seen above that um, the angles are preserved, but their signs are not, are changed. So both the and in B, both the angle and the signs preserved, since f zeta is an analytic function of zeta to z bar. Hence, 1 represents a transformation which is isogonal but not conformal. Difference between isogonal and conformal is that the angle is same, but the signs of the angle are not same in isogonal transformation. So next case, when f dash z0 is not equal to 0, we have W is equal to Fz is a conformal, Z equal to Z0, provided that Fz is an analytic function at Z0, and let f dash z0 is not equal to 0. Let us now consider that when f dash z is equal to 0, suppose that f double dash z0 is also equal to 0 up to nth order, all are equal to 0. So f dash z0 is equal to f double dash z0 and so on up to fn z0 is equal to 0, and now let fn plus 1 z0 is not equal to 0. Now using Taylor's theorem, we can write it as fz is equal to z minus z0 into f dash z plus z minus z0 the whole square by factorial to f double dash z, and lastly z minus z0 to whole to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 factorial f n plus 1 z0 and so on. Since up to n f dash z0 are all zero, so this is can be written as fz is equal to fz0 plus a into z minus z0 whole to the power n plus 1. A for z minus z0 whole to the power n plus 1 divided by n, a is for fn plus 1 z0 divided by n plus 1 factorial, and a is not equal to 0. Now, W1 minus W0 can be written as A into Z1 minus Z0 whole to the power n plus 1. So W1 minus W0 in the W plane can be written as rho 1 e to the power minus e to the power I phi 1, and in the Z plane we can write it as a modulus of A, because A can be written as A into e to the power I lambda. So modulus of a e to the power I lambda r to the power n plus 1 e to the power I n plus 1 into theta 1, and lambda is equal to arg of A. Similarly, so rho 1 e to the power I theta 1 can be written as A r to the power n plus 1 e to the power I n plus 1 theta 1 plus lambda 1. Similarly, rho 2 can be written as this way. So limit phi 1 is equal to n plus 1 a1 plus lambda, and limit phi to no alpha 1, sorry, and n plus 1 alpha 2 plus lambda. So limit phi 2 minus phi 1 is equal to n plus 1 alpha 2 minus alpha 1. Phi 2 minus phi 1 is in W plane and alpha 2 alpha 1 in the Z plane. Now here the alpha phi 2 minus phi 1 is equal to n plus 1 times the alpha 2 minus alpha 1, which should be equal, but here n plus 1 time alpha 2 minus alpha 1. Hence the curve C1 C2 passing through Z0, consequently the conformal property does not hold in here. So next, the necessary condition for that the W is equal to Fz to represent a conformal mapping. If W is equal to Fz, Fz represent a conformal transformation from a domain D to the another domain D dash of the W plane. So Fz is an analytic function of Z in D. So W is equal to U plus IV can be written as UXY plus IVXY. So that U is equal to UXY and V is equal to VXY. Then ds square, as we have done here earlier, ds square is equal to dx square plus dy square. Similarly, d sigma square is calculated here. See, if I write it, d sigma square can be written as e dx square plus 2f dx dy plus g dy square. Here e is equal to del u by del x into dx plus del u by del y in del u by del y the whole square, and f is equal to this much, and here f is not present. Here f is not present and g is whatever written. So we can write it as E by 1 is equal to F by 0 is equal to G by 1 is equal to H square. So del U by del X the whole square plus del V by del X the whole square is equal to H square is equal to del U by del Y the whole square plus del V by del Y the whole square, which and f is equal to 0, so the coefficient of f is taken as 0. Now to we take del u by del x as h cos alpha, del v by del x as h sin alpha, and so on. Then substituting these values, we get alpha minus beta is equal to pi plus minus pi by 2. Again, taking alpha minus beta as pi by 2, alpha is equal to beta plus pi by 2. Hence del u by del x can be written as h cos pi by 2 plus beta plus this is equal to cos 90 plus theta is equal to minus sin theta is equal to minus h sin beta. Similarly, del v by del x can be written, and so on. After calculating and substituting these values, we get del u by del x is equal to del v by del y, and del v by del x is equal to minus del u by del y. So the Cauchy-Riemann equation is satisfied that fz is an analytic function of z. Hence, the equation through reduces to a analytic function, and it is a conformal transformation, not an isogonal transformation. So student, so W is equal to Fz is a conformal, and Fj must be an analytic function of Z. So thank you student, today this much only.